Good evening to Randomania and all you wonderful little FFR community members and fans alike in the world. What a show we have for you here tonight. My name is Lyra the White Witch. With me tonight is a special guest that I've just joined for the first time. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about where we're at right here with this particular game, too?
We've got Filgaia versus the Crescent Lake Party Planners. This is game. I don't have it marked yet, but I do believe that we are going. Crescent Lake Party Planners won the first, and we're going to see that on the tracker in just a second. And we're hoping to bring it to a game 3.
Filgaia, Sonny Rath is a veteran. Kirito, this is his first time actually in this particular adventure. On the other side of the board with the Crescent Lake Party Planners, Spellzap just came off a huge top 4 finish, I believe third place back in that tournament for spring. Brings along Danny, and Danny is really new to racing, but she's been with us for so long and she has such an in-depth knowledge of the game that you saw what happened in game 1. They completely just dominated it. Will we
They
see that
did.
here in game 2?
It's hard to say, but there's definitely a good chance. We gotta give it to the new blood on Kirito's side. Haven't seen much, but maybe we're gonna see some kind of turn.
We're just waiting for the racers to go ahead and get readied up, and then we can be on our way. Any predictions tonight from our wonderful chats? It's already at 35 and growing.
Yeah, we're seeing some great names in here already. And I think they're about to start. The timer's going, so we should see them going any second. Yep, there we go.
Off we are into Conaria. First thing, Sonirath goes to the White Magic Shop. Wall, that's it. Invis 1 is a decent pickup, but Ice 2, Cake, Saber is a much better Black Magic Shop for level.
Yeah, Saber would be good on that Thief if they ever get it promoted on Danny's side, and if they keep him up, and Kirito. A Saber with a Katana is a great combination.
Spellzap goes immediately up into Temple of Fiends. Finds some fair amount of money in that first chest, actually. That's not bad at all. And here we are in the second couple chests. Fire 1 gauntlet.
That's Fire 1, yeah. With that Ice 2 at level 1, they're probably never going to need to use that, but you never know, I guess.
Well, it could be good for money, honestly.
Yeah, selling is probably what I would do. Garland goes down pretty easy.
But we see that Danny on Spellzap's side was getting ready to use that Fire 1 gauntlet just for that. Gonna see everybody start to play catch up here. Doesn't take the teleporter though. That's really it.
Yeah, so we don't know where Corneria Castle is. So even though they're rescuing the princess, it's not necessarily going to help them.
Also saw a stop there in the time magic department for level 1 black magic. Again, it's great black magic, but that white magic is so disappointing.
Yeah, they got to hope for a level 2, a good level 2. If they're not seeing too much in level 2 and 3, who knows? They might have some dead white.
Do you see what I see, Aaron?
What's that?
There's officially no save items in Conaria. We're gonna have ourselves some walking.
Yeah, let's hope we don't get some imps with, something. I had one the other day where they were just blazing off the start, unrunnable imp encounters. But, I don't think that's really going to be necessarily an issue here, but you never know.
Speaking of unrunnables, the iguanas have poison touch. They didn't hit very hard, but they definitely are unrunnable, and they do go down to one ice 2 shot, so that's not.
Yeah, Ice 2 should clear pretty much everything in the early game, but being unrunnable is just that a little bit of an annoyance where you have to stop. You can't just move on.
And here we go into Provoca. Now, something with this tournament, these tournament flags are not exactly that easy. As we see Fade, Heal 3, I correct myself. White Magic just got great. And Life right there is.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, I always like to see, ideally, you want Fade on a dead level so that you're not wasting the charges of your life or your heals, but I mean, I'll take it.
Fire, Blind, Hold, and Sleep 1. Just the contrast to that amazing white magic is really garbage black magic. Now, I did correct myself as we see our tournament organizer Falconic here in the chat. These flags are not easy, and one of the things that's here is the unsafe pirates, meaning they don't just poke at you with little sticks and expect you to just walk all over them. They come back with a.
Yeah, if they get the Fade off, they'll be dead, but they could come with some poison touch, it looks like.
Doesn't seem like any skills from these pirates, so one shot of Fade will just blow them right up, and we're going to get our first particular item right here from Bicky, the pirate captain. Changes his ways back to the old grind of just having a normal. Opal bracelet. That's actually really nice for armor, but that's not progression.
Yeah, at this point, that'll be great armor for pretty much anybody.
What's not that fantastic though is cabins are 300 gold a piece. Save items are at quite a premium here. Saw some random stuff there in the weapon, the armor.
And on the left, we see they found Saw has found Mermaid. Give you some early chests. Definitely good.
There is a lot of potential value here in mermaids, especially seeing it super early like.
Now, our only guaranteed incentive is Marsh in the locked chest, so we do need the key for that. And item magic has been shuffled and mixed into the incentives, so you're going to see a lot of. Oh, there's a loose right up there. You're going to see a lot of loose items because of that, and you're going to see a lot of item magic in NPC locations instead.
Gotta love it when you just led yourself right into that one, right?
Good amount of money too, which is great with those expensive cabins.
Not much in the way of sellables, though, unfortunately.
You don't know, like the adamant could lead to pretty much anything. We could have like a nuke sword or something thrown.
Now, Spells app did find the Temple of Ordeals map. That's actually. We know it doesn't have incentivized items because, again, as you pointed out, it's only Marsh for the key locked chests, but there's a fair amount of stuff in here too. But monsters are also pretty dangerous in this particular.
Yeah, and I mean there is quite a bit of chest density in here, especially if it's in somewhere convenient. You don't have to do the long actual trek to ordeals for.
The guarded tile for the Ordeals is the seafood party platter, but with ice too. That's gonna take more than one shot. So white magic and
Lucky they had Fade, yeah, for sure.
100%.
Oh, Kirito's getting oh, he had to reset out of the pirates, it looked like. Just bad turn order, I think.
That's all it was. Since the pirates were just hitting for a couple hits apiece, they weren't exactly casting any spells or anything.
Yeah, but if you pile enough of them up, they can do quite a bit of damage to an early.
Especially since, while we do have boosted XP here by quite a large margin for this tournament, the encounters are spaced out a little bit, there, as we see a loose ship right there, to where you have to worry about levels, especially with randomized guard tiles like. Spells out finding the Pro Cape. Pro Cape, there's only 2 of those in the game normally, and they do have a wonderful use in the fact that any class can equip them onto your shield slot. Loose slab right there as well. And it also protects against a couple nasty things too, so definitely something you want to see for pretty much any runner.
Oh yeah, Pro Capes are great. I mean, it's nice when you can get a nice cheap one at the shops. As you can, I don't think it's listed here, but our shop prices are 50% to 500% off the top. So they can be extremely expensive, but if you get lucky, you might be able to find some pro rings or something for a reasonable cost.
Speaking of finding things for a reasonable cost, we find the Vorpal at the Zombie Dragon chest right there at the end of Ordeals. We have ourselves an endgame weapon that is pretty friendly in terms of equipment selection for our runners, and yeah, it bashes stuff too.
Definitely a fan favorite, I think. Well, people are pretty divided on whether to use it or not, but I like it. It tends to get the job done.
We may run across a situation where Danny will come across what she would have to do the previous night for the first game one, and to sell a Vorpal for the vendor item. Let's hope that doesn't happen because you never know when you're going to see another endgame weapon.
The nice thing about that is if you save prior to it and you sell your Vorpal off, buy your key item, wait till it gets transferred, you'll see red text appear on like Spells app screen saying here's the key item. Then you can reset your save and you will get it back and keep your Vorpal. A little bit of a little trick there, but definitely useful if you can utilize it.
Ah, so Dwarf Cave was actually the mermaids one, as we pointed out before. I didn't see the exact entrance of it, but that's the beauty of floor and entrance shuffle. You never know what you're going to really find besides the town of Conair.
Those unrunnable iguanas are going to be the until everybody's got their boats, they're going to be a little bit annoying just to slow just a little bit down. It's not going to stop anybody, but Saw keeps running into them there, making his run a little bit longer than he wants probably.
So Elfland had looked like Cure 4, Warp, and Temper for level 4 magic. Didn't see the level 3 magic just yet, but that's a decent haul for both those mages. And look,
Yeah.
instant slab trans.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's good to see Temper at a reasonable level. We've had a few seeds so far this tournament where Temper and Fast have been locked at an extremely high level and just made things a little bit more. Because there's no guarantee you're going to find a like a power gauntlet or other buff to help out your fighter make those hit. Having the magic available is a great thing to have.
Spells app. On the second floor of Volcano turns into the Dwarf Cave. Can actually check in that adamant pretty quick. Finds the floater. We have ourselves an adventure, but
now I believe we need the canoe still to make it to that floater location. I don't think we have the dock to the south of the floater turned on, and chat can correct me.
no, you are correct. Extended open progression is not active in this line. So we welcome one of the developers for our community, Meridian BC, saying we skipped the hooray dwarf. This run is invalidated. I don't know about that. These runners are definitely playing to win. There's definitely a lot on the line here. The wolves throwing the heat off. Spell zap resets. That's pretty brutal. That's the most scary thing we've seen so far, but that's still a pretty minor annoyance in the grand scheme.
Wolves are the bane of any of my early runs on these when I've been doing some, practice run. Just seeing the horrible things that wolves can come with, and a lot of the times they will end up unrunnable in certain packs. So, yeah.
Top floor Mars turning into Northwest Castle as we see some definite ramp divergence here. There's some Cardia Islands for Kirita.
Just money so far. Yep, just about 2,000.
Axel pointing out in chat there, the seafood party platter is tanky. We did see an Ice 2 plus Fade actually complete the mission and destroy them all, so it takes about 2 spells so far.
Scorpions with Mute, that's interesting, and Dazzle. Cobras with Dazzle.
That was a lot of just awful status effects for our low-leveled runners here. Oh, did the Giants just have Death Touch?
I missed that. We'll have to keep an eye on Death Touch. That's it's not what you want to see, but
That's why I bring in a second screen. Oh yeah, that was definite.
at least they're not deep in somewhere. But you could definitely have some fun with those.
Oh, speaking of having fun with the spells that finds. It's just the Garogers, never mind.
Yeah, so Spell Zaps found the armory. There's a gold Cheerio, a Honey Nut Cheerio.
Danny finds the canoe. That's actually a pretty strong find, and that definitely will lead ourselves over to that airship.
Canoe from the Old Men. Yep, they've got everything they need to go airborne. And I'm sure that Spellzap's gonna, as soon as he's finished his armory, he's gonna head right over there.
Both of our runners on Filgaia here actually just playing around in ordeals. They're going to pick up their Vorpals as well.
Kirito's checking that one chest that I never even realized was there for the longest time in or.
The reason why you don't normally check this is because it's actually a linked chest to another chest that's on the top floor, but if you can potentially scout the information of what's on the grind tile in order to actually potentially farm it, that would be the incentive of actually checking that one.
That makes sense, yep.
Lightning 3, Ice 3 for level 3 Black Magic. That's a lot better than what we've seen so far for Black Magic. Fog 2 and Viz 2, Lamp for level 3 White Magic. That's some really strong White Magic.
Especially Lamp.
Lamp, a fan favorite of certain members of our community.
I want to see a Lamp item, just Lamp. I need that defense sword rerolled to Lamp. Temper and Warp being on the same level can be a little bit annoying, but there's not a lot of situations where you're going to need to use a lot of Warp. They haven't found Exit yet.
That's our vendor item. 35,000 gold, though. That's really spicy. That was over in Elfland right there. As
Yep.
Sonny picks up the slab right there, too. Gonna pick up that Vorpal. Game change.
Yeah, and we know where the tail is, and we have our floater, so they could go, once they get everything assembled, they can go make use of that.
Sea Troll's having stop. Oh no, Kirito's getting blasted to the high seas.
And
You
that
don't
thief make
normally
it
see
out.
more than 2. I believe the max for Sea Trolls is 2. Oh, there's the wipe. It's either 2 or 4 for, like, say, Water Floor and Temple of Fiends Revisited, but still not something you want to see. It's just getting just hammered like that so early.
Yeah, they normally bring friends. Yeah, question in chat, is there something in the flags that make them both want to run ordeals at the same time without knowing the end was Vorpal? I think it's just something you want to go in because you found it, it's relatively quick to get through, and there's 10 chests up. So if you're looking, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be in those chests that you want, including loose items. So they might not have been looking for Vorpal. In fact, they don't. If they knew Vorpal was there, they might not even want it right now. But you got to clear those areas out when you find them because they're nice and easy.
Level 5 Black Magic, not much there. It was just Cure 3, Brack, and Quad X for the actual useful spells of that. There's a stun stick, though. That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you can make it land, it does remove all the enemies' evasion. So against certain encounters, if you can make it land, you could hit quite a bit harder.
Spell's not going to go ahead and walk that out. That's actually a pretty interesting prize, to be perfectly fair.
There were some other things in there that they may have wanted. I believe there was like an opal helm and stuff. So I'm not sure if they've seen the tail location already, but they have their airship. So this is like, get the tail, you can equip all that stuff.
Danny finds the second floor of Mirage. We know there's 10 chests right here in the greater than less than room, as the fans call it. It's time to see what's interesting. Speaking of interesting things, there's unrunnable Cerberus, and most of the seeds we've seen in the past year have been pretty brutal, but they only pop heal once. That's not bad. Spells I'm going to head back to Elflin, go ahead and check the weapon shop by the looks of it. Sees the Warple there, gotta love it. Sells
He's gonna
the Ice
sell
Sword
and
and
the
the
stuff.
poor stun stick too.
Now I think he's gonna save, sell the Vorpal, pick up his item, and then reset.
As we get our greater than less than check right here. Flame armor, that's alright. The X-Cal was in the top chest. That's pretty good too. Flame sword. There's a first ribbon. That's actually really nice. The anti-lightning shirt. That takes place of either the white or the black shirt. Not a fan of the spell that's on it, but you never know. It might save your bacon one of these times. And it's generally one of the strongest shirts for armor-wise for the white or black mage.
Alright, yeah, so Spellzap confirmed his item and then reset. So now he's kept his Vorpal and he's gotten a hold of the tail for them.
Danny finding the first floor of sea. Multiple routes here to go. There's the Kraken side, and then there's the original Mermaid side. Danny goes there and sees the top floor of Marsh. There's 4 chests right here, so it's not horrible. As we find a loose crystal right.
Yep, and that's not the shared chest, so they would need to go this way. They can't just pick it up from the up. The nice thing about the floor randomizer is if you find the lower side of Marsh, you can always check that chest and get a little bit of knowledge for this top floor without having to find it out.
Scorpions having mute. Well, it seems that these ones aren't the musicians that we're generally knowing.
And I didn't notice, is Kirito farming the Peds, or did he just find one party?
One that I know of so far, but you never know.
With
Kirito
this
might be interested in
experience.
rocking them like a herd.
Oh, he has no. Oh, there he goes. I was going to say, I didn't think he had save items for a second there.
Just a short sword and a little bit of money there in the rest of the top floor of Marsh. Not the worst thing you want to see, but one of the better things you want to see is the ability to fly, and Spells app is definitely the first at just under 22.
Yeah, that's going to really speed things up. Plus, he can go around and basically just scout out where things are and let.
Danny also doing some exploring, finds Waterfall Cave. There's some potentially nasty critters in here, and she didn't go outside to save, so that's definitely a gamble here.
Bahamut is in Melmond, and he has promoted. Spellzap is now rocking his promoted classes, so we can equip all that stuff.
There's a robot on the loot. Now, the loot is something you want to see pretty much any time of the run. Better later than sooner in some cases. It does require 55,000 gold as the first chest open right there. But you are required in order to play that loot in order to unlock the bottom of Temple of Fiends Revisited, so it is mandatory.
Spells that picking up Brack. He wants to go for some Brack strats, I think.
A lot of money in the rest of Waterfall Cave along with that particular loot. That's definitely worth blocking out, and Danny looks like she's going to be just doing that right.
They should have warp charges at this point.
Oh no, she does
Oh.
not. King
We found
giving the
Corneria.
key.
Yep.
And then the Quad X Gauntlet from the Princess. That's actually a super nice. Question in the chat from Till. Yeah, Team Filgaia is definitely still on the road.
Now they have the canoe. They have everything they need, except I don't think they've actually found. No, they have not found the floater yet. That's correct. Yes, they haven't turned in their adamant.
Going into Volcano gives you the 4th floor of Volcano. This is totally randomized.
Good amount of money in there as well. We get to see what some trap tiles are. Maybe there's a good grinding spot somewhere.
Speaking of big bucks and no whammies. Oh man. Spellsap's going to take this fight. Probably wants the XP off of these things. They're not that bad when it comes to actually.
Oh, I think Sani's going to turn in. Yep, there's the float. So they can now, potentially, Kirito can just turn around and grab that area. That'll definitely give them the chance to catch up a little bit. Those bulls are giving Spellzap a really hard time.
That's a big load of bull we have there. As Spellzap's down to just 2 fighters, and one of them is really manages to save it and get back out of there alive. And there's some life charges, so Spellzap.
Level 12 and 11 on Spellzap's characters. That's not too bad.
Kirito gets away from those bulls that basically decimated Spellzap, so that's not information that Kirito will have access to, but that's definitely something you want to see, is not having to carry around a bunch of people.
Now, without that red mage on Kirito's side, they're going to have a little bit less in the way of fade charges than Spellzap. So hopefully they can find like a reasonable level nuke, 6 or something. I don't think they've checked level 6 magic.
Sarda has the cube. As we saw that over on Kirito's side, Hydra's had Transfer and Lightning too. Transfer is a not often seen spell for most of our runners due to the fact that it has pretty bad hit accuracy versus bosses, but when it hits, it takes away all those resistances and leaves you wide open to a whole bunch. I have to say it was one of my personal favorites in the spell list of this needs to be used more often and or at the accuracy.
Yeah, if you can get it to land, it can quite a difference in especially some of those later Fiend fights. Aegis Shield in one of the Cardia.
Kirito is the first of Filgaia to actually get into the air here. Only 27 minutes, that's not too bad. That's the old power stick. And that's usually pretty much sold for money, so nothing bad. Kirito picking up the key and the Quad X Gauntlet for his team.
Now, I don't think anyone's found the bottom of Marsh yet.
Yes, the bottom of Mars has actually been checked through. It's got okay-ish stuff, but not necessarily anything.
Did we see what the key locked was, or did they just check it before they had the key?
They checked it before they had the.
Okay, so we're going to be making a trip back there. At least they know where it is.
Yep, there's a loose rupee right there. That opens up 4 chests in the Titan's Tunnel, which we haven't seen in the Titan's Tunnel yet, so.
Yeah, the Titan's Tunnel has been required before if it's hiding something important.
Spellzap finds the 4th floor of the Sky Tower into the 1st floor of Earth. This is a pretty deep hole right here we've gotten ourselves. As our wonderful Min the Mage has pointed out, that is definitely the easiest teleporter thing we've ever. Something to note on Spellzap's side, though, down and out of warp charges on one of those particular Light Warriors. That could be a little scary coming.
Yeah, with how deep that hole is that he's in right now, it's going to take a few to get. Those Cobras dazzling people certainly isn't helping.
Then there's the stinger splash from the Cobras, too. It turns out they were watching their paper. Faywin's in the chat asking a question. No, we have not seen Exit yet. And we've checked level 1 through 6 magic. Spellzap finding the Dragon Armor, the strongest armor you can get for a knight. It helps defend against Lightning Elemental, and it just has a buttload of defense. That's definitely a nice find to find right now.
Oh yeah, Dragon Armor, and if you mix that, I think he already has the Aegis as well. So once he mixes those together, he's going to have basically, it'll work mostly the same. I don't think is there anything extra the ribbon protects against that the Aegis Dragon won't?
The ribbon will protect against pretty much everything in the kitchen sink, except for some really, really just awful stuff that'll go through everything, which there's not many of that in the game, unfortunately. The Aegis will protect against the stone element, basically.
Time and status, according to the chat. Thank you, chat.
And speaking of our wonderful chat here, as we're approaching the 30-minute mark and just passing it, this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Co-op Tournament. 2-on-2 matches for the whole next few weeks. My name is Lyra. I'm joined with Erin here, and I am seeing quite a lot of passionate teamwork and just all sorts of strats that you would never see in a one-on-one match. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, everyone.
Yeah, this definitely shakes up the standard 1v1. Honestly, it's great because it's building a little bit more. Just like it's called a co-op tournament, it's a very cooperative endeavor. Everybody seems very friendly. Everyone works well together. Tips and tricks. It's been a great experience so far.
And speaking of great experiences, the collective knowledge of just everybody in this chat by itself. If you are new to the randomizer, want to learn how to do stuff, ask some questions in here. Get to know everybody. Everybody's super nice, and they will definitely help you along the way because everyone loves a good competition.
Yeah, so I guess as classic gamers telling us, just speaking of the chat helping out, yeah, the Aegis and Dragon is about 5 of the 8 effects. So it's basically a poor man's ribbon if you can't find that extra ribbon. Iguana and Giant on the Agma trap tile. Not really worth, I don't think, grinding that.
The Giants were definitely dangerous with Death Touch anyways. The Iguanas were nothing special, so yeah, that's something you pretty much want to avoid.
We found Carrie, it looks like.
Sonny grabbing the cube for Team Filgaia right there. pointing out
heal
the
axe.
heal axe. That's, as you were just mentioning a second ago, that's definitely something you want to see in a seed that doesn't have a whole ton of cure spells AoE like that. It's a free cast a bit, sure, it takes up a little bit of time, but that little extra bit when you're deep inside Temple of Fiends Revisited and you don't have the opportunity to run can really save.
Yeah, it's a nice little buffer, but I would love to see, you know, like a heal 2, heal 3.
Spellzap finding almost a vanilla grind tile for eyes. This is totally randomized, everybody. As we see the first contents of the Dwarf Cave right here. A whole lot of money, the Sun Sword pickup, Opal Gauntlet, and another Power Ring, and that's about it, but that wasn't the worst thing you could ever see out of Dwarf Cave for a bunch of free chests.
Yeah. Gonna warp right out of there, great. And we've got Danny on carry, hitting with a fade. 3 hits, 212. And
Carry
Carrie's
has
casting
fast, though.
fast, yeah. That could be, if she follows up with a hit, that could do some serious damage. She's also pretty beefy. We have, oh, there she goes, 133, she's terminated. Bosses are clamped, so they will be no weaker than their standard counterparts in vanilla, but they could be up to 200% as strong on all their stats.
And as we're hitting the 34-minute mark, Danny has pulled the first orb for either of our teams. She's one to tell you that she's not exactly confident as a runner. She's definitely hiding some cards here. She has come to play this.
She has the knowledge. She knows what to do, and I'm sure that she's just been waiting for an opportunity to come out and teach everybody how to do it.
As we get a class promotion here on Sonirath's side, we're seeing the strategy of one person is potentially grinding a little bit more than the other just to farm up some levels. You gotta love it while one team goes explore.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot. It's a great idea to have somebody a lot beefier. That way, when it comes time to do a fiend, or even if we have a scary war mech, you just send them in and they take care. Harm 2 sword, Danny just picked up. That'll be reasonably useful against certain packs of enemies.
Things you want to use something like that in: Marsh Cave itself, Ice Cave. A fair amount of places here and there. It's not a super high value item for castables, but it definitely is helpful. You are definitely right about that.
Now, I don't think, have we seen any item magic on a helm yet? That's what I'm curious.
Not to my sight, no.
Because we'll get 2 of those, along with the heal axe. I believe there will be a second heal axe somewhere. Not that one's going to be something they're going to be searching for. And a loose bottle in the bottom of ice for spell zap.
As Kirito is checking out the first floor of Mirage, there was the ruby down here, so that's going to be a nice 5 raise. A little bit interesting to note here on Danny's side. The first floor of Ice Cave led into the second floor of Ice Cave. This is totally randomized.
Oh, and Danny's found Rod Lock. They do not have the rod yet. You can see her pause there to probably note it down on their little tracker or whatever notes they're using. And she's probably going to check chests and then warp out, I would guess.
Chat calling for the delicious cake staff that's just been found. Who doesn't love sweet things on top of the stick?
Exactly. Extra at level 7. It's not going to be very useful.
after exploring the third floor of Earth Cube here over on Danny's side, we'd like to welcome into the chat the leader of Final Fantasy Randomizer, Zardia, and one of the biggest trackers that we've seen come out of the gate, Super Luigi. Welcome tonight, as we see a little bit something special right there in that chest that Danny just found.
What did we? I missed her. Oh, there's a ribbon there too, but I missed what she picked up.
It was the loose crown and also the fast hammer from the fairy, a tiny fairy giving us the ability to speedrun even.
And it looks like Marshlocked was the chime. So we've got a ribbon, a crown, a chime. People are just picking up stuff everywhere.
Now, as you can see in the middle of our screen here, put together by our wonderful community, 12 key items will give you pretty much double XP. That's something you are definitely interested in as you do some exploring. Not every team will send both people to grind at the same time, but anything is better than.
Now we've translated the slab, so Spellzap's going to go check that out. I think the play here by Danny is to hope that it's a Masamune, which is, I mean, a great thing to find, but not so great for Danny because she's got to warp out now.
Did you see what was on Danny's screen right there? I didn't.
What was on her screen?
Exactly. As Spellzap translates the slab, goes to the Lefanish, finds the Masamune. So that's two endgame swords in play right here for our runners. The top two most notable swords, besides the Excalibur, which is right there at number 3, you have yourselves a party that's set up to just deal all sorts of physical destruction.
Yeah. Massa and Vorpal is typically what I like to run, but the Excal I'll almost always throw on once in a while, just to deal with the early fiends if I have it, because it just cuts them down a little bit better, in my opinion. But definitely, once you have the Massa and the Vorpal and you're down in Topher, just go hang.
Oxyale pickup for Spellzap right there. Something to note is actually it's really helpful to have that. Just saying. Now we find a katana, the legendary dragon sword, which, if you've been following me around the past couple tournaments, you know what the dragon sword actually.
The katana is an interesting bit of info to have, since Danny is still running her ninja. I don't think she has a katana yet.
She does not. Now, the katana has higher base power than the Vorpal does. Same amount of crit. You don't hear people talk about the katana as much because there's 2 of them in the game. Sadly, you cannot dual wield them. But it's still a pretty nice little weapon.
Yeah, well, especially like you could put the Vorpal on your fighter, put the katana on your ninja, and give that Masa to your red mage if they want to swing something. Or you could, pull a Canuck and give it to your black wizard and let him go.
Speaking of black wizards, Black Wizard casts Cake.
And falls
Lich
in the
was
crack.
hungry. The purple punching bag goes straight down and just into a food coma. That's the second orb that Danny has put on the board for her team. Strong showing.
Yeah, they're doing a great job so far. Now, by no means is this indicative of the current pace being continued all through. We've seen hard Tophers, we've seen other roadblocks. It can come, Filgaia can come from the back and just take over in no time.
Something we've seen in every single tournament pretty much in Final Fantasy Randomizer community. No lead is safe until you hit dot done on Chaos. Doesn't matter. We've seen some crazy stuff come out of Temple of Fiends Revisited in those Fiends.
So Kirito, they have the ruby, but I don't know if he had checked it previously or just didn't want to, but he did not check Titan Trove there, even though he had stumbled into it.
Fortunately, the Titan Trove didn't have much. I believe it was just the Harm 2 item right there. So.
Yeah, there wasn't anything super important.
Sonny Wrath skips by the ribbon chest, though. That's a little bit scary. Loose herb right there for Danny's side.
Now, they should know already where the herb turn-in is, I think, because they found everybody. But it is possible they haven't stumbled on that exact entrance yet. Because I believe it's in Bahamut's cave, right? Oh, well, obviously so, since she's going there now.
Nice way to set yourself up right there.
It's just how it goes.
Sonny Wrath takes care of the invisible speed bump glitch thing. I didn't see it either. I literally was looking the other way and it was already gone.
Oh, there's Kirito checking the Titan. Getting that Harm 2 stick. Well, sword, but I don't think anyone's going to equip it, so might as well be a stick.
Such value, much wow here as we see the Earth Floor 2 chests that checked for the first time. Absolutely nothing in those. Something I'd like to poke out at the 45-minute mark here. This is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Co-op tournament, but you know what? It isn't just for the 16 teams in this tournament here. The co-op is for everybody. If you follow the links in the Discord up in the chat, you'll be able to just hook up with all sorts of great people. Find a friend. Just wander up into like Call for Races or something and just go, oh hey, I want to try this. I'm brand new. I want a friend. And you never know. You might end up like the Crescent Lake party planners where somebody that's only really done tracking before this teams up with the third place finisher from the last tournament and completely wrecks the field. You can just join into the next tournament too.
Yeah, the co-op, it's great fun, even if you're not interested in racing, you just like watching it, but you're interested in Final Fantasy, grab a friend and just go through a casual.
We found the Elf Prince gives us the required rod. Well, it's helpful. But as we've seen in this floor and entrance shuffle, not everything is required all the time.
Yeah, technically the rod could lead to nothing. I mean, at this point, I think we're probably going to see some fiend behind it. We've got 2 down, but we've seen no Tiamat and no.
Kraken 1, you're right about that. Every item is always required every time as we welcome one half of Team Poison FX, St. Bond Jester, into the chat. Hope you're doing well tonight. We are doing amazing. This right here is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Co-op. Those bad men had Scorch too. There's no burning this team.
I think we found 2 ribbons on Crescent Lake Party Planner's side, so I don't know if I think Filgaia missed one of them, which might make a pretty big difference later on. Not having those ribbons in Topher can cause some big problems.
As we saw from our notes here, one of the ribbons was right there in Earth 3, right in that little greed chest that people don't normally check all the time, so not everyone.
I believe the first ribbon was in Mermaid. And yes, the other one is in the Earth, if memory serves. Which it
Level
usually
6.
doesn't.
Oh no, I definitely agree with you.
Getting some Invis 2 out on Sani to deal with that. A fade for 85. She seemed. We're just getting some low rolls on the fades, I think.
It's either that or Carrie just rolled really high absorb since, yeah, she just has ice too because she was just having a little bucket right there, right next to her, and just goes, "Here, take this cold." Sunny
All
Wrath
right.
downs are no problem though. Puts on the first orb for the board for Team Filgaia.
Yeah, so I guess at this point, Crescent Lake Party Planners is just searching for information. They need to track down where those other fiends are. Now, I do believe they have the chime. Just kind of see that tracker update.
We've seen the chime on at least one person so far.
Yeah, the chime is there. They're missing their TNT. Doesn't necessarily mean they need it, since they have pretty much everything else lit up there. So it's really just a hunt for orbs.
There's the second katana in Matoya's cave as she hands over the Cure 1 shirt.
Oh,
What
good.
such value.
But we do not have a lot in defensive item magic. In fact, we have nothing really.
You have a lot of solid defensive stats for those mages, but that is such unfortunate things.
I don't think we've seen what the defense sword rolls into or the helms quite yet, unless I missed. But yeah, we're running low on item magic to see. If there was one item you want to find, what would in terms of item magic?
Everybody definitely wants the nuke something. Nuke something is the number one thing that everybody wants because nuke is non-elemental. It'll deal up to 400 damage against pretty much anything. If you don't see nuke something, fade something is generally something you want to see as well. Or even just something that casts something straight up vanilla like Invis 2, for example. That's actually a really strong find as well.
Yeah, I think outside of that, if you're not looking for a hard attack spell, the two you really want are fast and which we already have a fast item, which is great. In chat, I think Classic Gamer, I think the Harm 2 sword was not the defense sword because it had the sword, and I believe you're looking for an item that it doesn't have the little sword icon next to it to be the defense. Just kind of how the way it's displayed. That's fine. I mean, I made that mistake myself, so that's why I know it, because I screwed that up.
It's the wonderful part about the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. You learn from your mistakes, and then you can help teach others not to potentially make it yourself.
Exactly.
Chat pointing out the Harm 2 sword was the Bane sword instead. That's a really good find. Well, not so much as Bane, but it's nice to know that that item's out.
Yep, I'm hoping to see a lot of Brax and Banes. I'm hoping to see Chaos die to something silly. We have seen, I believe Chaos was hit with, I want to say it was Brack, but it might have been Zap. I think it was Zap, actually. Earlier in the tournament, he did die to a Zap. Oh, looks like we found another ribbon. Was that was in Spell Zap picking up the second one. There's some kind of glitch on Spell Zap's screen. Shouldn't be there too long. Yep, there it goes. It cleared itself up.
Special shout out to our tracker tonight, Kitchen Finks, brand new to the community. And you're helping along with that too, Aaron. I appreciate the both of you here tonight as we're kicking it off with round one action here. Game 2 of this series. Crescent Lake Party Players up 1-0. They want to close it out tonight, not have to go on to tomorrow.
Yeah, and add Kitchen Finks. First time tracking, doing a great job right now. If everybody wants to show some appreciation for him in the chat. He is handling this, I believe, mostly by himself because I keep forgetting to do it.
Put down your weapons. You have 15 seconds to comply. Here comes an unrunnable war mech. This is 100% required for all of our runners here just to progress through it. Danny is a little bit scared, I think. She's taking a little bit of a pause here.
What are we going to see? Fades, yep. Doesn't have invis, I don't believe, of any sort. So this could be quickly over.
It looks like Warmack's spell happy though. Lightning 2 goes off. Nothing special there.
Will we see a nuke or a nuclear?
Speaking of nuke, the fighter takes it straight to the face. Warmack hugs applied directly to the forehead.
At 339, that's not going to do it. 418 to zap.
That'll do it.
One damage. Oh, fire 3 comes out. Lit 3 in response. Just chipping away, but we're waiting for another.
He tries to give the Warmech some cake, but Warmech's not hungry.
Honestly, at this point, I would probably go for the 3 in 256 chance of that, rather than try to chip away at 1 damage at a time.
Little bit of a battery tap there, just a little bit of a recharge. You might as well just start having fun with this. She tries to offer up some more cake, but Warmech still.
Oh, he's still alive.
Not so much.
445 defeated. Well, we know now that he hits hard, and they're gonna need something. Oh, is he gonna try? Or sorry, she's gonna. I'm mixing up Spell Zap and Danny here.
She might be just going across the Bridge of Destiny for some levels. I don't exactly think that's a bad idea either.
Yeah, Spell Zap coming in behind. I mean, it would make sense for one of them to grind while the other one gives it a shot. I mean, definitely.
No, they're both on the Bridge of Destiny. It's time to go full on out.
Yeah, Spell Zap does have Invis too, so if he can get enough of those charges up, this may play out a little bit. Those tempers up. Meanwhile, Sani is working on the Earth Orb right now.
The Invis 2 stacks. You need 6 stacks of Invis 2 in order to have max capacity for every single character, or 3 stacks of Ruse, and you can just mix and match those. They do stack on top of each other.
Right,
Just
and the big
something to note.
difference, Ruse is only cast on yourself, or if you're playing vanilla and you have the defense sword, that is what it casts. Amy taking a big hit. Still alive, though. Cure 4 going out.
Vanilla or vanilla flags, basically, but these are special custom flags of item magic and all sorts of random fun here.
Nobody wants vanilla. We want... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, Danny just kind of bailed, but she does find some metal slimes. Or just actually regular slimes, which are pretty decent XP here, too. They're weak to...
There we go. Spell Zap takes down Warmech and gets 16,000 experience. I like those levels. 26, 27 on Danny. That's a pretty beefy fighter.
Here's our first look at Tiamat 1 right here. Brack comes off right away. Spellzap's
Some
not
of
playing
that
around
brat.
tonight.
143 from the fighter, not bad. Temper going out. Go mode is definitely something they want to do. They're more in like fiend find mode. Because I don't think they know where. Oh wait, no, sorry. They've already killed Kraken. That's my apologies there. So yeah, go mode for sure. They already know where and off they can go. Yeah, assuming they can kill him.
Yes,
They
the
have
loot
the
has
loot
been found.
and they have the key. Yep, they have everything they need.
Crescent Lake party planners looking to pull off the shocking win. Their next opponents could be just watching this going, these two are actually a legit threat. I'm kind of scared.
Yep. Whoever wins this series of matches will go against Rove Hates Caleb in the next round of. I'm not sure who they want to see more. I mean, Danny's a scary, scary person, but you never know. Filgaia could pull out the win here with a tough Topher, and we'll see what would happen in that situation in a game 3. Looks like Tia is dead, so they have all their orbs, everything they need. Holding the hands.
So Danny exits out the Bridge of Destiny. You never know. She might be interested in going to find a grind tile at this point. While Spellzap goes into Temple of Fiends, because Spellzap does have the higher levels here.
That's correct, Piercing Mountain. Danny does not need to fight Warmech because Warmech is a great source of experience, but isn't required if the other person can. However, I've seen in a lot of these cases where they will come back and take out Warmech once they feel like for that nice 16 to 24,000, depending on how many party members they have alive.
Speaking of things to grind on, the Ice Cave had the Agama friend tile, and you know what? That friend definitely wanted to stay and have some hugs because Agama's on.
Everybody loves hugs. Level 8 fast, yes. They luckily do have a fast item. They only need one cast of fast. Like, it doesn't stack like Temper does, so it's not as important to have a bunch of charges, but you're going to want a few because you're going to want to use them on each one of the fiends. You got 5 bosses total in.
A little bit of extra information, some bonus credit for our fans here as the crowd keeps on growing tonight. You do want more Castle Fast only because if something hits you with slow 2, it basically resets you back to a normal hit state, and that fast will just rewrite that basically. It's like
That's
a over.
fantastic point. Yep. You're basically looking at a scale of a 0, a +1, or a -1, and fast puts it up 1, and slow puts it down 1.
Danny is the first one inside Temple of Fiends Revisited. Her levels are fairly low here, but she might just be going for information, or she might be going.
Yep, at the 1 hour mark, they're both in Topher, so we'll see. We're still missing 2 orbs on Filgaia's side, but at this point, it's not too much. Aside from that Warmech fight, to just cut through once they're ready to go. They have similar amount of experience. They're a little bit behind, but they can definitely take those fiends down quick. One wipe in late Topher is going to get them all the time they need to catch.
Here we go into the bottle of Temple of Fiends. 1 hour, 2 minutes. It's time to start seeing something. Besides the Lock 2 staff, which is actually pretty interesting in and of itself.
Yeah, Lock 2 is kind of like in that Exfer class of spells where in the original game, it didn't work at all. It was completely useless. Don't even bother casting it. But it's been fixed in the random. It lowers their evade, and I believe it lowers their absorb a little bit as well, and makes it just a little bit easier to hit them and do damage. I like it, but it doesn't hit quite as often as I'd like.
Sonny Wrath grabs that fast item. That's actually a super nice thing to find here.
The loot was found on the robot, yes, in the waterfall, and just they have not found it yet.
Danny and Spelljammer only one floor behind each other. They're both going just crazy fast. And here we go with the purple punching bag round too.
We'll see if he comes out the gate with something dangerous. Lit 2, not going to be that scary.
Here's some Lightning 3 fast hammer. Fade goes off. 284. That's pretty high fade roll, honestly. 10 hits, 692. The purple punching bag goes down in one.
All right, now we're going to see Danny do the same thing. Now, it's entirely possible for Lich to have a nuke or something buried deeper in his spell table, and you just won't see it if these guys are quick enough killing him.
Danny tried to feed Lich some cake again. Lich too just got full from the last time, so this Lich doesn't want any.
175, not a bad hit. Need a couple tempers on there, maybe a fast. I'm not sure, did Danny pick up the fast hammer?
We shall see in just a moment. Here we go with Carrie. Carrie starts off with Fire 3. That's something you would actually expect her to have. 5 hits, about 200 something going off. Temper stacks. Here we go. Yep, there's the fast hammer for Spell Zap.
Yeah, Spell Zap does have it, but I haven't seen Danny use it yet. Oh wow, there goes his black
goes off
mage.
for 94, super low roll. 9 hits, 756. Down goes Carrie.
Yes, that fast hammer is definitely helping. On the left, we've got both members of Filgaia fighting with one for that sweet, sweet experience. A little bit of safety too, right? If somebody wipes, you want the other person to finish it off.
And this is another seed where the Bridge of Destiny was actually super light in the dungeon deepness list, so there's definitely just all incentive to just keep banging your head against the wall until it. Those lobsters have a cold, they keep sneezing all over Spell Zap there.
I will point out that Danny also doesn't have a Vorpal. Unless I just completely saw it and then pretended it didn't exist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did not see it. Yeah. Thanks, chat. I'm sure Volcanic will be right on top of me if I miss that.
Now, there's a spell that is very undervalued to a lot of people. The Wall spell. It acts the same as a ribbon. Super valuable, especially on a small level spot like level 1, for example. It just gives you all sorts of protection, and you definitely need it against fiends like.
When that's all you have at level 1 on your white mage, yeah, just put that up on everybody who doesn't have a ribbon. You don't even have to worry about getting taken out by, something strange coming out, a bane or something. Some kind of stone poison. Anything. The only thing it won't protect you against are, touches, like a stun touch or a death touch, something like that. I don't believe that's blocked by the ribbon or the wall.
That's why things with so many hits are just so dangerous all the time. We did see in the last tournament, there were things that just show up in the earth floor called green Medusas. They tend to hit for 10, 11 hits or something like that. if they roll high. And you know what? Those had Death Touch that particular one time, so it was getting through pretty much all the time. We did see someone die about 10, 11 times.
Yes, very dangerous. Now, Kraken has Blaze, which did quite a bit to Spellzap's party there. Hopefully doesn't follow up with anything else nasty. Danny, Spellzap's character, Danny, is hitting so hard, but oh wow, 1,021 onto the Black Wizard from...
Fade for 146. Down goes Kraken too, though. Not without any sort of just casualties there, but fortunately the life slots are right.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough Kraken, but I think Spellzap's got the levels to do that. Unless Tiamat or Chaos come up with something really crazy.
And we had Kirito picking up his Masamune right there. Still a good find, regardless of whether it's actually your favorite sword or not. The Frostwolves have Blizzard. That's something you do not want to see on a large group of monsters like that. Spellzap going into to Tiamat 2. Tiamat 2 just poked the Black Mage. Not too much damage, but definitely less than 200 HP, so that's within nuke territory. 8 hits, 509. Temper stack still going off. 2 hits, 178. 21 HP for that poor Black Wizard. Just taking all the hits right here.
Yep, I think the Black Wizard is basically just a meat shield at this point. He's got his tempers off. I think Danny's that fighter's going to come out and just smack Tiamat around.
Tiamat just completely ate that poor Black Wizard. Just devoured her.
Well, he offered some cake, but Tiamat didn't want cake. He wanted Black Wizard.
7 hits, 637 though. Ooh, the love tap downs the Red Wizard.
Now, hopefully he can get out of this without losing. Did he pick up life on... Oh, there, it doesn't matter. 7 hits, 940. Yep. His knight does have life. Great.
It's one of the things that you don't see every runner do in the community is they won't go back to just put spells onto their knights, their ninjas. It's definitely something you want to actually get into good practice of doing, because if those spell lists are loaded and you just don't have those extra spell slots on the tankiest characters of your party, they could potentially bury you.
Yes, for sure. Interestingly enough, Filgaia found the TNT. We know that's not required, but it is interesting to note that he was in Sky 2 in the lower left.
Here we go. Spellzap's the first to pull Chaos. 2,000 years in the past. Here we go. Looks like a buff turn, though, for starting off with. I can definitely get behind this. Oh, 3 hits, 478 to the Black Wizard, and it had Paralysis Touch, too. That's really, really scary.
We have the Invis 2 charges. We still have Temper from the Red Mage, so it's not a horrible thing to happen.
Lightning 2, basically free turn right there. Danny swings 5 hits, 450.
Danny reset out. She got nuked and zapped.
That's something we didn't see over on Spellzap side for obvious reasons. Quad X goes off. Just over 300 HP, so it completely misses. 7 hits, 418. We're definitely starting to see the damage pile on for spells. Quad X misses again. Fade goes off 105. And Viz 2 still going. And here comes the big swing from Danny. 6 hits, 217. A little bit of a whiff. Swings again. 6 hits, 297. Mazza's still not cutting into the tune of that much damage. It got a couple good hits. Fade goes off again. 123 or so.
Chaos isn't coming out with anything really scary. He hits hard, but at this point, enough Invis charge.
Fade goes off again, 120. Danny's swing, 6 hits, 307. Chaos still standing, taking about 1,500, 2,000. Lightning 3 goes for 44
Terminated.
damage and finishes it off.
44 damage terminated.
Anticlimactic, but what's not anticlimactic is Crescent Lake Party Planning have officially swept the 2-0 against Filgaia, and here we are. Get your GGs in chat. The official bot has come in with a 112.42. Congratulations to Crescent Lake Party Planners as they move on to round.
It was a fantastic game. It just goes to show, like, Danny is the knowledge she has from all the help she's done in the background. It's really helping.
And it looks like Kirito has officially found nothing here, as Sonic is definitely still going and just going straight towards Kraken 1. I respect. As we're working in the back to get them in there.
Oh, broken into pieces. That's what I was hoping for.
You love seeing those crazy kills, don't you?
You do. I always want to see. I want to see the weirdest stuff kill all the.
Well, I guess you don't like what I did then, because I just went straight tried and true, fast and temper.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, and obviously we could see here there's nothing wrong with that play here.
There's nothing wrong with it because a Lightning 3 is what killed Chaos. Congratulations to you, Spell Zap and Danny.
Thank you, Lyra. Thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better. I knew there was a lot of stuff we could have improved on yesterday, so we kind of shook it off and came back and played a little bit cleaner today.
Yeah, what he said, because I watched yesterday's race, just watching mine, just like literal, face palm, hand on the forehead, like, oh my gosh. Why did I do that? What was I doing? It was, yeah. So, I feel better about today.
Every race that you go through, it's only 2 so far, Danny, but we've seen you apply that knowledge from tracking all these past couple months and just become a crazy dominating force. How are you feeling moving on to...
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that last part. I'm sorry.
That's alright. How are you feeling about round 2? You've definitely shown yourselves to be a dominating force. A very, very surprised one, but there are no surprises with the amount of skill that
Feeling better. Feeling, like I said, better yesterday oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever been so nervous probably about anything, ever. Boy, like, spells that. Yesterday was like, how are you doing? I'm not doing well. It's bad. Today, at least for the ask, was like, well, today I'm not having to remind myself to breathe. I'm not hyperventilating 3 hours before, but yeah, it's still very, 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 very nerve-wracking, but it was easier and I felt a lot better. I still made a lot of mistakes, but I feel better about today's run than I did yesterday's for sure.
So, Danny, we've had this discussion in the past just about that particular thing. You've been a little bit nervous, but again, you never showed it. You were the first person to take down any fiends in a seed. You just showed that knowledge. It definitely paid off for you.
I don't know if I always necessarily apply knowledge to that. I'm just like, if I kind of started with when we started practicing, but like if I run into something and I have at least decent spells and something I can swing and it's within like the first floor or 2 and I'm not gonna lose a lot of time, I kind of figure, why not give it a whirl?
And look where it's got you. It's got you a date with Hyra Fellows and Rafe Hates Caleb. 2 of the real interesting, similar situation to you both. Veteran and a rookie. This is going to be the true round 2 matchup, I feel. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, for sure. I'm already nervous.
So while you two were actually going on in this race, tell us a little bit about your thought process. Were you more of the, as we saw, the person that was actually willing to just go and get information instead of particularly taking a few more levels? There wasn't a whole lot of that one-sided relationship in this race, and it's definitely shown that those levels were done.
Yeah, we kind of went into because it's very obvious that I'm like we came in. It to me that everybody spells up so much better, whatever. So I've always felt more comfortable just kind of being like Dora the Explorer of the group. So I'm not sure, like it's whatever. So like a lot of times, like he'll be doing something, I'm like, just tell me where to go. So that's kind of what we do. And then there's a couple of times, and he's not here to be like, oh no, I was going, and he was going to be nice, but I legit kind of buffed it a little bit today. And I was gonna do Rod Locked and try and do Kraken, and then send him to do Wormack and Tia, and then Danny got her cardias mixed up and sent him to the wrong place. So this is why Danny doesn't send spells at places, and spells at sends Danny places.
No, see, what the story was I was going to tell you guys was that I wanted the ribbon out of Earth. But, she pulled back the curtain here and admitted to her own
I'm
mistake.
giving credit where credit is due, partner.
No, you just gotta brush it under the rug, all right, and say we meant to do that. That's what you
Dude,
gotta.
you know how much stuff I brushed under that rug from yesterday that was just bad. There's no more room under the.
So you guys ran into a little bit of trouble on Warmack at first there. What do you guys? That's probably the hardest point for you guys, or did you run into any other problems?
I think this one went pretty smooth, I would say. We had to double back on a couple places. I had skipped a couple places that I made note of. But, I didn't see anything too nasty. I found some early levels with that Sea Shrine Party Pack sort of thing. I got just a clutch first strike on it. And I went to like level 8 within the first couple of minutes of the match, and kind of jetted me forward from there.
So it looks like on Filgaia's side, they are doing a little bit of grinding, and then I think they're going to make another crack at Topher, I think.
Were they already in Topher?
They were not. They just finished up with Kraken 1 as you guys were finished. I think they had trouble finding the loot, which was in Waterfall.
Yeah, I think we got the key in the loot fairly early. So what we ended up doing was basically saying, looking for
yeah, they
locations.
haven't found it yet. They haven't found the loot yet. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, that is the problem with this. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it yourself. Sometimes the notes can get a little jumbled, or you forget some place you should, and then before you know it, you're running in circles, going, "Where have I not checked?"
Yeah, I mean that's entrance shuffle. It's definitely a different beast as far as races go, but I've had a lot of fun with the co-op tournament, and it's kind of cool to talk with your partner, split up things. The cool little plays that you can do with the co-op server itself. Really
Yeah, you were a perfect showcase. I was explaining how you might sell the Vorpal and then save your game, sell the Vorpal, buy the item, and then reset, and then you did it perfectly, just as I. Yeah, thanks for that.
Not a problem. We're here to make the casters look good, so.
And we're here to make this exciting for the fans here tonight. Now, something that's I am interested in wondering, are you going to change up your strategy a little bit for round 2? different opponents, different mindsets, you know they're good.
I don't think we need to run into the. We haven't actually looked at the week 2 flags yet. I mean, we've looked at them, but we haven't played them yet. So I think any change in strategy is going to come from the difference in flags, because I believe that turns on towns into the entrance shuffle rotation, so everything is getting jumbled up now. So that might change our strategy up just a little bit.
Yeah, it being just a bit harder and adding in town shuffle definitely makes it a bit more worrisome, especially because you never know what towns you're gonna get, and you could either get lucky and get early magic, or you may not get early magic till halfway through, and then full on ride in the struggle bus. So
Yeah, those first couple levels of
at least
magic are going to mean a
as many
lot more.
practices as possible.
Did you guys plan to have 4 characters all through, or were you thinking about potentially killing one of them off? Magic.
I usually end up don't killing them because it seems like every character's got a role, and experience comes fast enough. Just having the extra, or rather having the guaranteed Invis 2s with having the white mage, and then having a guaranteed fast and temper with the black mage, you kind of need to keep at least both those around. So there could be a potential for a 3-man party, but having extra of both temper or Invis 2 kind of make it so that having 4-man parties is, I think, a more consistent than a 3-man party in the end game. So that's kind of
Right.
how I've done so far.
Well, it worked great for you, so obviously it's a very, very good strategy.
And I just gotta say, because I did it, because watching back yesterday, trying to make small mental notes of all the giant what in the world was I thinking things I did yesterday. And I know I heard in commentary that I seemed to highly offend one of the commentators, Dengwu. I'm sorry. I not only didn't buy Quake, but I didn't Quake anything. So that Quake on Lich 1 was all for Dengwu.
Well, Dengwu seems very happy in chat, so you've done the right thing. Yeah, you Quake 2 on Lich 1. Did you get it off on Lich 2? I know you tried.
I tried, but it didn't work.
He was too full from all that cake on the first time.
Yeah, I gave it the old college try, but he wasn't having any of it.
We see they're both going over a lot of the same areas that they have before, looking for this particular loot to get into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
I wonder if it's their notes. They don't have their notes synced, or they've forgotten to note something down, because they definitely seem lost. Yeah. And I don't believe we found. I don't think we have it in our notes where Waterfall was off the top of my head.
I did Waterfall early, but I don't quite remember where it was.
From Earth Cave, I think. Or no, Waterfall led to Earth Cave. Sorry, I got it backward. Oh no, Kitchen Finks. You tell me I'm wrong. I know I say the wrong things.
I think it was on like the C split on the left. Because I didn't have warp charges or anything yet, and I had to run it back out. That's always fun.
Yeah, we were hoping you had some at the time, but I think was warp share something else, or you just didn't have any charges at all?
I didn't have any charges. By the time I got in, and I had gotten a couple levels, I remember checking after the robot, because I told Sponsor, I was like, dude, because the fact that I made it all the way through Waterfall without any encounter, and then I get there and I go to the door and the robot's standing in the door. I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have to check any of these chests. Because that was great. But I remember checking, it had like one cast, but it was I had gotten it since I last saved, so I didn't actually have one to use. I was like, dang it.
Right.
Gotta go backwards.
If you have any questions in chat for Danny as she's sitting here talking with us, please feel free. Ask.
Yep. I mean, we give the runners the time they need. Like, we're not gonna tell them go away. They deserve to play it out, obviously. And yeah, as long as they are willing to keep going, we're gonna keep talking about it.
As we're sitting here with the finale of this round 1 matchup between Crescent Lake Party players and Filgaia. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Co-op Tournament. An hour and a half in. Still looking for that little last piece of information, that one last item just to get straight in there. We know where it is. Now we just have to send ourselves some positive energy and send it out to our wonderful runners here so that way they can go ahead and finish it up for us.
Now, if you guys are interested in getting into some randomizer runs or, some tournament action, there is actually signups. You can check in the Discords. There is a link for the OnRack Summer Vacation Tournament. It's a team event, teams of 3 to 5, so get your friends together and sign up, check it out. I believe signups are going for the next couple weeks, so if there's, some new people, get in.
That's something we're definitely promoting here in our community, is just the tournament right here, that coming up tournament right there. It's all about grouping up with your friends and just making things nice and spicy. And they're both finding each other in the greater than less than room. We know Excalibur was in here, but there was nothing else past that.
I think there was a ribbon in there too.
The only 2 ribbons we've seen were the one that was in Earth 3, and then there was the one at Earth.
No, there is a third one in there. Yep.
Oh, was
that
nice.
is the third one. Sorry.
Yeah, I found one in there, and I don't remember where I found the second one, because I know I found 2. I never found the third.
Nope, and it sounds like they may have forfeited. Let's confirm. Yes, they have. So we can pull them in if we want to give them a little talking to and see what.
As we work on potentially bringing them up here for the post-race interview to conclude the rest of this matchup. Kirito is just exploring the game. Even though the race is over, there's nothing wrong with just keeping us with something to just adventure in our mind. And here we have Kirito and Sonny. Congratulations on doing what you could for this race. It was a pretty challenge.
Yeah. And I can't believe I forgot to check the Earth Cave. I mean,
we had the same problem as we did in the first race. We lost location to exactly what we needed, and that infuriates me because it's a repeat of last night.
Yeah, we were cheering for you to find the Earth Cave, but unfortunately, that was I see Kirito, you're finding it right now. There. Yeah, it was. You guys were very close for most of that, but obviously, that's going to cause a little bit of a problem. Did you have any other problems other than just location finding? Were there any problems with any of the fights or anything like that early game?
Nah, things were surprisingly easy early game, especially since we had Ice 2 at level 1, as well as Fade at level 2. like it made an early game grind extremely viable. And when Kirito found the fire dragons that had, I want to say around 110 HP, that was the
100 to
go-to
110.
grind. Yeah, that was the go-to grind, and getting level 15 off that was nice. And then finding the mummy, wizard mummy, Costrice, and Pyrolisk tile just allowed me to push my grind even farther.
Yeah, the big difference there was C.L.P.P. Crescent Lake Party Planners. They found the loot very early. They found it about 30 minutes in, so they didn't have to track it down. But still, a great showing. You guys were doing great. You guys seem to know what was good. Do you guys have any plans now that you've done that? You guys going to be going into the on-rack summer vacation tournament? You guys going to be anything else coming up?
You'll see me in the OSV, that's for sure.
Fantastic.
What tournament?
The on-rack summer vacation.
Oh, probably will, but who knows?
So coming into this tournament, just brand new Kirito. You've been with us for quite a while in the commentary booth. How did it feel being?
It's not too bad. Sort of still new to the 5AC games, 5AC randomizer, that's for sure. It's not too bad. We'll probably still play it here and there, but we'll see probably when I guys join the next tournament out there.
We will definitely look forward to having the both of you in it. As always, it's all about the teamwork. It's all about the fun. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you guys want to anything you guys want to add? Anything you guys want to say?
Good luck to you, Danny, and
Yeah, good luck, Danny, and definitely good luck to Spellzap. You both are more than likely going to go pretty far. Spellzap, I know, is much better than I am, but at the same time, with the last couple days, my brain has been in a complete scramble, so Floor Shuffle probably is not where my forte is right now.
Floor shuffle is definitely hard. I'm not in this tournament for a reason. I'm not good enough with the floor shuffle yet, but I know it is in the on-rack summer vacation, so we're going to see a lot more of it. So yeah, I guess we're both going to be doing a lot of practicing.
Oh yeah, I usually practice one floor shuffle seat a week, just to keep myself fresh on it. But at this point, I'm like, right now with how things have been outside of speedrunning, my brain is just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it can be tricky to keep it all straight. Hoping to see more of you guys, hopefully in the on-rack summer vacation.
Absolutely.
See, not sure. I'm not sure still yet if I'm gonna join that one.
So Lyra, I think we have one other game tonight on Randomania 1 at. Do you know what time that's at? Is that
Should be. Let's see. Double check that real.
I think it's at like 11. That sounds about right.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
11 Eastern. That's correct. That will be I believe, Game 2 match between Solar Nova and Duckling Eternal. We have Melee Wizard to track. We have Nitz and Wilcliosis. That's going to be quite the commentary team. Watching this one back, I hope you all take a just good look and just remember you have
It's interesting.
the ability, you have the potential. All you have to do is just love the game. And that's to everybody that's out there in the community as well, not just for the runners here tonight. All it takes is just pressing that A button and going straight into the run. We'd like to give a special shout out to Randomania for hosting us for this particular tournament, and Minochi, our restreamer. Aaron, you helped out Kitchen with the tracking, and for that, I can just give no words deep enough for the thanks. It's all about the community here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's definitely something I'll work with you each and every night on, as long as you guys want. As just press play. That's all you gotta do.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I mean, we definitely need to shout out our trackers and our restreamers and our commentators. It takes a lot to get this all put together, and it's great to see everybody out here working together to get this up on whatever channel we're on, Randomania in this case. Thanks.